Welcome again. Welcome back to Jantersand studio. In today's video, we are going to tackle the basics and answering a super important question. What is HTML? You have heard it before, and in blogging, especially with Blogger, you may need some basics, though you don't need to understand the HTML for you to be able to do blogging. If you've ever opened your Blogger post editor and seen that scary looking HTML view, don't worry. At the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what HTML is and how you can use it to make your post and layout even better. And if you find this video helpful, remember to hit that like button. Remember to give this video thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. So what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Again, HTML stands up for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a standard code used to create web pages. Every blog post, image, or links, or headings you see online is built using HTML, or even on this Blogger platform. So anything you see, even this page you're looking at, is made of HTML. If I was to do that and do inspect, you see there is a code here on this side. This is what we are calling HTML code. So I won't go into details of that. Think of it like this way. Let's say you have a house. So the blog is your house. HTML is the structure for your house. That is the walls, door, rooms, and all those structures that are surrounding your house, including the roof. Then CSS is paint and decorations. We'll come to these. CSS is used to decorate your blog and style your blog. We'll come into full details. Then JavaScript is like the electricity that makes things move. So JavaScript, like when I'm clicking this, that click for starts open something. So that click, there is an action click. It opens that page. It's JavaScript that does that magic. Now what you see here, the way this is displayed with these all colors, these are done through CSS, and even the way these menus were nicely arranged. But now the structure, that is the text, and these drawings are done using HTML. So HTML does the structure, CSS does the decorations and alignment, JavaScript gives the action to any of the components that you add to your HTML code. So then, why then as a blogger should you know basic HTML? Remember, blogger is basically, you use it as it is. If you click here, you just type title, then content, you can add tags, we'll come to that. Then you publish, and this is published. If we go to our blog, we will find we have already published our first blog post, and we have not used HTML anywhere. So then why should you, as a user of Blogger platform, know basic HTML? One, to fix formatting issues. You find maybe the theme that you're using have issues with formatting. You can easily use HTML. And also you might find you have done an article, but the platform you're using to write the article may add some additional formatting, which you need to remove. You can use HTML very easily. You can also use HTML to embed videos, forms, and tweets. Remember, even advertisements from Google AdSense, you're using HTML code. So that's why you need to understand at least basic HTML. Number 3 is to customize post layouts and widgets. You may want to customize maybe the way this post looks like, or the widget you may want to change. You can always use HTML to do that. And finally, to improve SEO by using headings properly. And this is one of the issues I've had most people who have been declined by AdSense, where you find you have not formatted your blog posts properly. Remember, in the previous tutorials, I told you in Blogger, the title for your blog post, that is the title you put here on top, is usually H1, the major heading. If you go to here where there is no more, it's the major heading. So in Blogger, you only have one heading, the one that you have put here, the title, major heading. So you can't add a major heading inside the blog post content. You can only add it as a title. So H1, which is also major heading, is only one in Blogger, the title you put here on top. Then you have H2, which is a heading, which you can add here. Like this one, I can change to heading. It is H2. If we go to HTML view, so to see the HTML code for Blogger, you go just below the title, there is this icon with a pen. You just type it, click on it, then you select HTML view. It changes to HTML code. And it is not a complete HTML code. That's why I said the title here forms the H1. In Blogger, you don't have, inside the blog post, you don't have the header and the opening part for body. It's only the inside part of the body. So the Blogger takes care of everything else. So we have changed our text to H2, and you have seen here the opening tag is H2 and it's closed with H2. If we go back to compose view, this is a heading. Then we have H3, which is a subheading. So this is a H3. So if we go back, you notice it changes to H3. Then we have H4. Let's go back to compose view. You can change this to H4, minor heading, or even paragraph, or put it at the normal. So in Blogger, we'll be dealing mostly with heading, subheading, and minor heading. So those are required for your content to pass through Google AdSense. And how are they arranged? We start with H1, which is the title. It's the major one. Then we come to H2. After H2, let's copy this. After H2, we have H3. So this is a heading. This is a subheading. Subheading. Then we can have a minor heading. Then we have H4, which is a minor heading. Heading H4. Then we can have a paragraph. So paragraph starts with a P. If you are to go back to compose view, you realize they have different sizes. We have the title, which is a major heading. Then we have a heading, we have subheading, we have minor heading, and here we have a paragraph. So this is paragraph. So as I said, you start with a major heading, which is the title. It is usually the title of your blog post. If you have any other subheading below it, you put it as a subheading, a H3. If within that subheading you have another heading, you put it at a minor heading, and you can put content as paragraph. So that's how you arrange your content. Then if you have another heading below the paragraph, you put now the other heading, and they go like that. And inside these, you can also have minor headings. Or even subheading. So we'll come to this when we are doing our blog post next, where I will explain everything. So we will use compose view. I usually prefer using compose view to preview what I'm reading. But my blog post, I usually do them using HTML. So I will do HTML code. Come and paste my HTML code, then use compose view to preview what I've done. That way it is easier to get your blog approved by Google's AdSense. However, you can also use compose view to just write and make sure you're using this properly. So we'll start with that. We'll start with using this menu, structure our blog post, which is okay for anyone who wants to write a blog post directory or format directory, but my preference is usually these. Yeah, you write very nice and organized blog post. Either way, both of them, you can do a very nice blog post, whether you're using compose view or using HTML view. Remember, this is just an introduction. We are not going into full details. We'll come to this when we start doing our blog post, which should be next. So that is HTML. If you want to change formatting, you can always change it from any of these menus. You can change font from here. Now that's where CSS comes in. Like let's say I change this to Arial. I can broaden italics, change color. Remember, this is now decoration. If we go back to our HTML view, you find on the first one, there is a style, the CSS style. This is added within the code, the HTML code. We'll come to that into details, so don't worry about this. So I can embed videos, I can insert images. So we'll come into details and see what level of CSS and JavaScript you can utilize in Blogger platform. But you can do anything you can do on WordPress. You can always do it in blogger.com. And if you're still finding this video helpful, remember to give it thumbs up and also to subscribe to this channel. So even if you don't code or don't know anything on coding, knowing just basics of HTML can give you more control over how your blog looks like and works. There are some functionalities you may not be able to achieve directly from the compose view. That's why you need HTML view, and you can add those functionalities here. Like notice, if I got compose view, I may not be able to add buttons. I may not be able to add buttons, but using HTML view, I can come and add those buttons. So Blogger, it's all about your creativity, how far you can go creatively. You can create very beautiful blogs and websites using blogger.com. So common HTML tags for bloggers. We have a few of them, but we'll come into details. We have done H1, which is title, H2, H3, H4, and you also have paragraph. Paragraph is P, using P. You have seen it here. So if you're writing paragraphs in a blogger, you use P, and make sure that paragraph is at least 4 lines. It is readable and well formatted, and you can write so many paragraphs. Like you can copy these and create it as another paragraph. Then we have Link references. Let's just pick one, like this one. We want to add a link, so we can copy our blog, then come and paste the address. I just want to show you, but in real programming, you have to write it. Notice A, then the href, then our link to our blog, then the text that will be shown, then you close the hyperlink. If you are to go back to compose view, you notice now it is a link that can be clicked. So that's another tag. Then there is an image. If you are to add image here, you use the image tag. We'll come to these because we'll be using a lot of these when adding images, our thumbnails. So all these will come into details. This is just an introduction, just to give you an idea of what you can do with, let's say I'm adding these. Then we go to HTML view. You notice now we have another image tag, and image tag also have the source. The source is the image that you are adding, the path to that image, and you can also add alt text. We come to all these when we are doing full blog post. Then we have strong. If I want to make this bold, I can use just one strong. Let me just make it bold. There is also tag B for bold, where you open with a B and close with a closing tag. That broadens the text. You can also add italics and also add list, ordered list and unordered list. So we'll come to this when we are doing our first blog post, and we'll go into details. So we'll start with compose view. I show you how you can write your blog post directly, or if you're doing from outside, how you can paste it and format. Then we go into HTML view so that you understand both versions. So now when you write your blog post directly in compose view, magic happens on the back end. You have noticed when you write, blog automatically creates a HTML code for you, which you can always come and customize. So you don't need to worry so much about HTML. Blogger takes care of everything. However, you are not limited. If you already know HTML, you can always work with it. In most of my blog posts, I'll show you how to do using HTML. It is the easiest. You don't need to come and edit anything. So inside the blogger, you can, we have seen, you can toggle between compose view and HTML view when you're writing post. So when you're in HTML view, you can always collapse, expand, collapse. So if you can't view your HTML code, just check whether you have collapsed. Just click on them to expand everything. So here are some quick tips. Use HTML to clean up messy formatting. You may find you are in a compose view and maybe this text looks weird. When you try to broaden, it doesn't change. Always move to HTML view and check what could be added within the tags, and you can remove. Sometimes when you are copy pasting from even AI platform, you notice they add additional tags which you can always remove from HTML code. Always close your tags. If a tag has a closing tag, always close it. Otherwise, you get an error. For the images, always use alt tag to improve SEO. That tells you search engines what image is all about. So search engine is able to understand your image. Remember to use H2 and H3s and H4s for subtitles in your post, but never use H1. major heading. As I said, major heading is for titles. In Blogger, it is reserved for titles. You will never interact with it. So that's why you need to toggle to HTML view and check whether you have H1s here. If there is any H1, convert it to H2. If it is a main title, then move it at the title's entry. And if you are still finding this video helpful, remember to support us by clicking by hitting that like button and also subscribe to this channel. And that's it for your HTML introduction for bloggers. I hope it wasn't scary as you expected. It's actually very simple. You will not interact with HTML unless you want. And in this channel, I will show you in full detail so that you are comfortable working with HTML code. It helps you clean up messy codes. And with just a few tags, you can dramatically improve your blog's design and functions and add capabilities that you never thought Blogger can do. You know, we always think WordPress is super. Blogger, you can do everything. Remember, you have access to the master code. So if you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe to Jantersand Studio, and check our blog for blog posts. And leave comment below with any HTML question you may have. I would love to really break down this into very layman language. If you didn't understand anything, as I said, HTML is the structure, CSS is the paint, JavaScript is your electricity. It powers the house. Let's give another example of a car. You have the body as HTML. You have the color, the CSS. You have the car moving after you press accelerator, that JavaScript. So that action to move. So action you click, like update button. If I click this, there is a JavaScript code running on the behind, which saves that code. So that's what I mean. So thank you so much, and let's meet in the next one.